Good afternoon, everyone, and we are the Group 1. And our lesson for today is about cradles of early science in Maya civilization, development of science and technology in Mesoamerica. Alright, tara, aral tayo. Alright, our tables of contents. Number 1, the Maya. Second, astronomy. Third, calendar. Fourth, number system. 5, architecture. Next, agriculture, medicine, Mayan technology, and the decline of the Maya. And lastly, the summary. All right, next slide, partner. Ayan, our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain how the Mesoamerica, especially in Maya, became advanced in science and technology during their time. Second, learning. Mali na ba si partner? Learn how to use the Americas, number, accounting, and the calendar system. And lastly, describe the daily life of Mesoamerica's people and their means of making their lives better. Our learning overview, Central America had advanced civilization from 1500 BC to 1200 AD. That we have the three dominant civilization before European arrival. Number 1 ay Maya, Inca, and Aztec. And especially kami ang unang group kaya itatakal namin yun ay Maya. Alright, tara na. Tara. Aral tayo. Okay. The Maya. The Maya is the indigenous people of Mexico and Central America. Alam niyo yun? Diba hindi? Kaya itatakal namin eh. At ang Maya ay binubuo ng 9 lands. At ito ang Yucatan, Quintana Roo, Campeche, Tabasco, Chiapas in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, and Honduras. Oh, di ba? Di nyo kaya? Dami! The Maya's achievement in astronomy, architecture, engineering, agriculture, mathematics, medicine, religion, culture, and communication. Di ba? Nabanggit ko nga kanina doon sa tables of contents natin, talagang napakarami niya. Kaya talagang mauumay kayo for today's video. And ang itatakal natin ngayon ay astronomy. Ayan. According to Ken astronomers, Mayas believe God's will. Action were revealed in stars, moon, and planet. Build important buildings aligned with astronomy. Kumbaga, sabi nga, 'di ba, na sila lagi bumabase sa astronomy. Lalo-lalo sa star, moons, at sa planets. Ayan, mamaya itatakil natin yan. Okay. Mayas believes Earth, naniniwala sila na ang Earth ay ang center of celestial bodies na pinapaligiran naman ng mga sun, moon, and the stars. Ayan. And the most important celestial objects naman sa mga Mayans ay sun, moon, and Venus. And it's also the star used for agricultural planning season. Diba? Yun nga, nasabi ko kanina na sila ay bumabase sa astronomy. Alright, ayan. Astronomy, guided festival, wars, and rituals. Kumbaga, sila ay bumabase, bawa, gumalaw yung buwan. Ayan, may sunog. Eme lang. Parang mga ganun ba? Bumabase sila sa paggalaw or sa mga nangyayari sa astronomy. As Venus. Venus is the most important planet for Mayans. Bakit? Venus is the most important planet for Mayans, associated with wars and sacrifices. Battles and rituals arranged based on Venus movement. And 'di ba, sabi ko nga kanina, sila ay bumabase sa paggalaw ng mundo, ng buwan, ng araw, ng stars, 'di ba? Ayan, alright. At ang Mayans na-compute ng mga Mayans, napakatatalino nila, 'di ba? Calculated Venus cycles is 584 days. At ngayong modern days nung sinukat nila, ito ay 583.92 days. 'Di ba napakaunti ng ng pagitan? 8.8 lang. 'Di ba napakatalino nila? Alright. Ayan. Sun naman, sun. Sun is the most important celestial body. At ang sun, 'di ba sabi ko kanina, sila ay naniniwala sa God's will. Kaya naniniwala sila na ang Panginoon ay nagpapakita sa araw. At ang tawag nila doon ay si Kinich Ahaw. Di mo alam. Kinich Ahaw yun. At sila ay naniniwala na ang araw shines all day and transforms into a jaguar at night to pass through the underworld. At siya ay nagiging si Xibalba. Ayan. At si Xibalba ay Mayan name for the underworld. Ayun. Ayun. At yun, ruled by 9 or 14 gods, lords of the underworld. At yun, marami sa mga Panginoong ito ay maaaring paminsan-minsan ay pumupunta sa mundo ng mga nabubuhay. Kung saan sila ay nagpapakalat ng mga sakit, pagpapahirap, at naniniwala sila na ang mga Mayans naniniwala sila na ang bawat Diyos ng astronomy ay may sariling pagpapakita sa underworld. Ayun. Katulad na nga lang nun si Kinich Ahaw na naging jaguar siya paggabi nung dumaan siya dun sa underworld. Ayan, alright. Moon and stars naman tayo. Moon nearly as important as the sun. Kasi 'di ba kanina sabi ko nga, ang sun is the most important celestial body, 'di ba? Yun. Predicted lunar movement with accuracy. Important for agriculture and rituals. At pagdating naman natin sa stars, less important siya religiously, but used for agricultural season. Mas ginagamit nila ang stars sa pagkalkula kung kailan ba sila dapat magtanim o kailan ba yung talagang perfect time para magtanim sila. Ayan. At ito, ang Chichen Itza and Equinox. Yan. Pyramid aligned with spring and fall equinoxes. During equinox, sunlight casts shadow serpent figures descending pyramid, symbol of cosmic connection and Mayan astronomy. Ayan. Ayan ang Chichen Itza. At pagka lumulubog, yan 'di ba yung temple. Pag lumulubog yung araw sa kanluran, bumababa ang anino nito sa sinaunang lungsod ng Mayan. At ayun ay ang Chichen Itza. Mayan knowledge naman about sa astronomy. Accurately predicted solar eclipse and equinox. Use astrology for planting and harvesting. Sabi ko nga kanina, yung sa stars, napipredict nila, sa pamamagitan ng star, napipredict nila kung kailan yung perfect timing ng kanilang pagtatanim at kailan yung perfect timing ng harvesting. And dito din, sa tulong din ng stars, ay na-develop nila ang 2 advanced calendar. Ayan.
At eto na ang ating Maya calendar. Shish! Napakaangas! So since the Mayas were deeply interested in astronomy, they developed highly advanced calendrical systems which could accurately predict celestial cycles. We have 3 main calendars called the Long Count, Tzolk'in, and Bika-Ab. Each calendar is cyclical, meaning that time only repeats after a set number of days, and the new cycle can only begin after the previous one ends. And now let's move on to the Bika-Ab calendar, also known as civil or solar calendar. It consists of 365 days, which is divided into 18 months of 20 days, and 1 5-day month at the end of the year called Wayab. So Wayab was believed to be an unlucky and dangerous time at the end of the year. And during this time, the Mayas stayed indoors and performed rituals for protection. The Bika-Ab was also mainly used for their agriculture, for planting, harvesting, and seasonal activities. For example, we have the month called Muwan, or the Muwan bird. It marks the start of the rainy season, when birds become active and noisy. Now let's move on to the Tzolk'in, which means the distribution of the days. It is also called the divine calendar or the sacred round. It consists of 260 days, divided into 20 periods of 13 days each. The Tzolk'in was used to determine religious and ceremonial events, and also used for divination, or to predict future events. And each day is numbered from 1 to 13, with a unique name or glyph chosen from a set of 20-day names. Finally, we have the Long Count. It was used to track long periods of time, and it was referred as the universal cycle. It records time in 5 different units called Baktun, Katun, Tun, Winol, and Kin. Its starting point was set at August 11, 3114 BCE, according to modern conversion. And on December 21, 2012, it marked the end of the 13th Baktun. So how do we start? How do we write dates after December 21, 2012? For example, we have September 7, 2020. So we count the dates from December 21, 2012 to September 7, 2020. And as you can see on the table on the right, we have a total number of days of 2,817. Now we can finally start writing the date. First, we start with the Baktun. So 144,000 days compared to 2,817, we know that we are still within the 13th Baktun. Next, we find the number of Katun, which is 7,200 days. Divide that to 2,817 and we get a 0. So next, we find the number of Tun, which is 360 days. Divide that to 2,817 and we get 7 Tun. And from the remaining, that's where we get our Winol. So we divide 20 days to 297 and we get 14 Winol. Now next is the Kin. We find the Kin from the remaining days from the Winol, which is 17 days. So we have 17 Kin. So our final long count date is 13-07-1417. And that's it. So now we move on to their number system. So the Mayas used a vigesimal notation, which is a base 20. And one of their greatest intellectual achievement is the use of the concept of zero. And in their number system, they only use three symbols to represent all numbers. The first is a dot, which has a numerical value of 1, and a line or a bar, which has a numerical value of 5, and a shell, which has a numerical value of 0. So in their system, just like ours, it is positional, which means that the position of a numerical symbol is equal to its place value. But unlike our number system, they use a vertical orientation, which starts from the bottom and moves up as the value increases. So we follow certain rules when in vertical form. First, there should be no more than 4 dots in a single place, and every group of 5 dots becomes a bar or a line. And also there should be no more than 3 bars in a single place. 4 bars would be converted into a dot in the next place up. So how do we see this? So here we have an example of vigesimal notation on the left. Now how do we interpret this? So first, we calculate the ones place, or the place at the bottom, which has 2 bars and 3 dots, which means that we have 13 ones. Next place up is the 20s place, which has 2 bars and 1 dot, so we have 11 20s. And next is the 400s place, which has a 1 dot, so we have 1 400. And we add the values, we get 633. So the Hindu-Arabic value of this vigesimal notation is 633. So now we have a few more examples here. And as you can see, we can solve by using the base 20 values, or just straight up the power of 20s.
The Mayan architecture is one of the greatest achievements of the ancient Maya civilization that flourished in Mesoamerica before the arrival of the Spanish in 16th century. It was not only about the skilled farmers and mathematicians, but they were also remarkable builders in stone cities that still stand today. It was filled with temples, pyramids, and bulwarks, decorated with stone carvings, stucco, and paint. Through these structures, we can still study and understand their culture and way of life. In construction and labor, even without the modern technology, the Maya built incredible cities using the human labor and manpower. Peasants worked under the supervision of king priests and architects. These laborers carried heavy stones on their backs or rolled them on logs from nearby quarries, and hundreds of workers will join to complete a temple or pyramid, often when they were in forming. The main material used was the limestone, which was plentiful in most Maya regions. They carried it never shaped it by hand and used a special mortar made by the burning limestone to hold the stones together and coat the walls. And here's the photo when the Maya laborers feed and mortar a temple limestone blocks. In pyramids, one of the most iconic structures of the Maya was their pyramids, which symbolize a bridge between the earth and the gods, and were often used for religious ceremonies and sacrifices. A famous example of this is the temple of Kukulkan in Chichen Itza. It was a 4-story with 91 steps. It totals 365 steps, and one for each day of the Mayan year. And this show how deeply connected their architecture was to astronomy and their calendar system. The temples. The Mayan temples were another major feature of their cities and serve as a places of worship, home for priests, and landmarks for navigation. Many temples were carefully aligned with celestial events such as the movement of the sun, moon, and Venus. One of the examples of the temples is the Lost World Complex at Tikal, which marks solstices and equinoxes. One of the most impressive temples is the Temple of the Warriors at Chichen Itza. It reached by a broad stairway with step ramps on both sides, and along these ramps are figures of standard bearers holding flags. A chapel statue sits before the entrance, and serpent-shaped columns support the wooden lintels above the doors. On the top of each serpent's head is a shallow basin, which may have used as an oil lamp. In ball courts, another fascinating part of Mayan, and where they play a sacred game called Pok Atok. These courts were usually eye-shaped and built near temples to honor the gods. The layout symbolized the heaven, which is the upper level, the earth, which is the side walls, and the underworld court floor. The game Pok Atok wasn't just about a sport, but also was deeply religious. The game represented the struggle between life and death. 2 to 3 male players could use their shoulders, elbows, and hips to hit a solid rubber ball through a high stone ring, which was extremely difficult. Winners were treated as heroes, but sadly, the losers were sometimes sacrificed or died to please the gods and ensure good harvest. At Chichen Itza, the largest ball court discovered measured 460 feet long and 150 feet wide. And here's the video on how the Mayan played the Pok Atok. In legacy, their structures weren't just for beauty but also represented the Maya's religious beliefs, astronomical knowledge and engineering genius. Even after more than 1,000 years, their city remains standing as a lasting symbol of their intelligence, culture, and creativity. The Maya were not only skilled builders and astronomers, but also clever and hardworking farmers. They developed different farming techniques that allowed them to grow enough food to feed everyone in their city-states, even in challenging environments like rainforests, swamps, and mountains. The main crop of the Maya was maize or corn, which was the foundation of their diet and culture. It was often planted together with beans and squash in a combination known as the Three Sisters. Each plant helped the others, like the corn provided support for the beans to climb, while the squash spread on the ground to keep the soil moist. Other important crops included the cacao, chili peppers, sweet potatoes, and monyak or cassava. These crops not only provided food but also material for trade and rituals. Terrace farming. In the mountainous highlands, the Maya practiced the terrace farming. They built flat steps or terraces along hillsides, supported by the stone walls to prevent erosion and control water flow. This allowed them to grow maize and other crops efficiently even on steep land. Water from canals irrigated with the terraces, making farming possible in areas that would otherwise be too dry or rocky. The Maya also discovered the raised bed farming, also known as the raised field agriculture, in the swampy lowlands. They dug up the mud to form elevated platforms about 2 to 4 feet above the surrounding water canals. The Maya used the plants and mud from the canals as natural fertilizer, making the soil rich and productive. And this system was so efficient that it could produce 2 to 3 harvests per year. In slush and burn, another farming method that also known as shifting cultivation. Farmers cleared a forested area, burned the vegetation, and planted crops in a nutrient-rich ashes. After 2 years of planting and harvesting, the land was left fallow for a few years to discover or recover. This method worked well in areas with low population, but in large cities, it became unsustainable since more people meant a greater need for the farmland. Also, they practiced forest gardening, which involved planting useful trees like the cacao and gum trees for food, firewood, and trade. They also gathered wild fruits, tubers, and berries, showing how resourceful they were in using their environment.
Mind medicine. It's a combined mind, body, religion, ritual, and science. Illness is equals to imbalance. Health is equal to balance. So, the Maya believe na ang kalusugan ay tungkol sa balance ng mind, body, at spirit. Kapag may sakit, ibig sabihin imbalance. Gumagamit sila ng herbal remedies. Like, nakadepende yun sa kulay ng plant. Red para sa blood disorders at burns. Blue para pampakalma ng nerves. Yellow para sa liver at spleen. At white na iniwasan dahil sa symbol na death. Yun na nga. Iniwasan nila yung mga white na plant kasi it symbolizes death. Naniniwala rin sila sa hot and cold balance ng pagkain ng alaman. Ito, ang mga shamans. Ang mga shamans, sila yung nag-perform ng medical activity sa kanila. Kung bagay, sa panahon nila, yun yung mga doktor. Tapos, din sila ng surgery tulad ng mga wound suturing, skull setting, at refination. Pati dentistry, gamit ang stone inlays. Yung sa ngipin, dito sa image na to, kina-orb nila yon manually, tapos ilalagay yung stones. Yung stones ay like moissanite, turquoise, jade, or cinnabar. Tapos, ang ginagamit nilang pandikit is yun, natural rubber or high technology. In agriculture, slash and burn, raised bed farming, forest gardening, cacao and gum trees while harvesting. And sa architectures, they build pyramids, temples, and cities without metal tools or wheels. Isa din sila sa mga pioneers or magagaling na mathematicians and astronomy kasi sa bawat paggawa nila, dinedepende nila sa mathematics and astronomy. Tapos, sila din yung nag-develop ng concept of zero, a base 20 number system, tsaka accurate calendars. Tapos, naggawa rin sila ng wheels, ng mga, ito yung mga Mayan technology. Yung wheel, nagawa sila ng wheel, pero they don't use it as a tool for transportation. They use it as a toy, ganun, ng mga tao. Kasi di nila nagagamit yung wheel, kasi gawa ng mga daanan sa kanila. Hindi pantay, hindi maayos, ganun, bundok-bundok. Kasunod ay thumb line. Yung thumb line, isang leather strap device na ginagamit sa ulo o noo para magbuhat ng mabigat na load na mga gamit niya. Nakalagay sa ulo, makikita mo naman sa picture. So, kasunod is, yun, yung road system sa kanila. Gumawa sila ng mga daan, tawag ay sakbe. Gawa sa bato, limestone, at puting plaster. Tas mataas ito sa ground ng 1 to 3 meters para hindi mabasa o malubog sa gubat. Ginagamit yung road system na ito para i-connect yung mga cities, plazas, at temples. Tas yun, dahil puti yung pavement, nagre-reflect ito sa moonlight. Kaya tuwing gabi maliwanag yun, tas nakakatulong sa mga tao na mag-travel kahit gabi. Ayun, canoe. Alam naman natin yung canoe na bangka. Yun, they use it for trading tsaka transportation. Pero yung stela, yun yung malaking stone slabs na may carvings. Tas, kumbaga yung parang sa atin, monumento. Tas ano yun, parang monumento. History recorder, ganun. Masks. Yung yan maing mask na yan, gawain sa jade. Gawain sa jade. Tapos, ginagamit yan sa rituals at funerals. Nilalagay yan sa sa mukha ng namatay na emperor ganun para may protection sila sa underworld. Tas, binibigyan sila ng spiritual power.
Let's move on to the decline of the Maya. The decline of the Maya civilization began around the 11th century, and its exact cause is still uncertain today. Many historians and archaeologists have proposed different theories to explain what happened. Some believe that wars between city-states weakened the Maya and led to their downfall. Others think that the disruption of trade routes caused economic problems that affected their survival. Next slide. Another major factor could be the environmental issues. The Maya's growing population and intensive farming might have caused deforestation and climate change, making it harder to produce enough food. Over time, these problems may have forced many cities to be abandoned. By the 16th century, when the Spanish arrived, much of the ancient Maya civilization had already collapsed. However, the legacy of the Maya continues to live on today through their scientific, mathematical, and architectural achievements, which are still studied and admired around the world. To conclude our report, again, the Maya civilization was one of the most advanced ancient cultures in Mesoamerica. They were skilled astronomers, carefully studying the stars and planets to guide farming and religious rituals. The Maya built impressive pyramids and temples, showing their advanced knowledge in architecture and astronomy. Their calendar system was very accurate, combining a 365-day solar calendar and a 260-day ritual calendar. They also created a number system based on 20 and introduced the concept of zero, which was a major mathematical achievement. In agriculture, they grew maize, beans, and squash using irrigation and terracing. They also practiced medicine using herbs and spiritual healing. Even without metal tools or the wheel, their technology was advanced. They made rubber, paper, and complex water systems. Although the civilization declined around the 900 CE due to war, drought, and overpopulation, the Maya's legacy continues to live on through their descendants and cultural achievements. And that is all. Thank you for listening.